Okay, everyone, just look this way because when I've created this EDM reference image, this was referring to building it fully in Illustrator, which is what previously happened. So now we just build it straight away in Figma. So what this means, the relevance of what I've just said is I've used typefaces, which are part of the Adobe fonts, okay, or whatever fonts. But Figma does not use those fonts. And what's happening more and more is Google fonts are there. Okay, and so Figma, we need to find typefaces that are similar to it. And so what that means is that if we are actually doing things in Figma, there need to be a decision about what particular Google fonts are used. Okay, so as I said, Adobe fonts don't exist. Helvetica, Futura, those, Arial, DIN, all those ones are not there. So we need to find similar ones. Also, the formatting of text is a little different in Figma as well. It's not as precise as we might find in Illustrator or InDesign. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this. Now, I want you to get into the habit of using singular text frames with multiple elements of text, okay, rather than having them all just aligned and worked together. Now, what you'll also find is that there are some text files that are here. Now, I've used here, sorry again. I've used a program which lives in the Apple suite that is called Text Edit. And Text Edit's pretty good because essentially, so if I came over here and I copied this, and I created a new piece of text, more often than not, you'll be given text files in Word, or probably more likely these days, Google Docs, okay? And that can have its own formatting on, which means that when we paste it, all we're going to do is copy and paste into Figma. We don't want that formatting there. So a good thing to do, and we can do this in Word as well, I'm going to remove the formatting. Okay, and so I've just pasted it in from Word, format, make into plain text. Okay, so now this is just raw text. And so it's a good thing to use raw text because then you don't have to undo things. Okay, and so this is what this is. So here I've got my text. And let's just put that over there. I'll come to that maybe a bit later. Get my text frame, create a text frame, and paste it in there. Okay. So once we do that, we can start to things out the way. I've used this program. It's getting in the way. Get out of the way. Fira Sans for this, and Fira Sans condensed some of the header text. Okay. You'll find that there's many fonts we can use there. So I just found this sort of sitting near the top. Didn't want to go looking too far. So we've got that. Command A to select it all. Let's just bring it up in size. And so what I'm going to do, little handy hint, if I just click in the size, I'm just using the up arrow. Okay, I'll get it looking about right. And then I'll select this one. If I hold the space bar down, it goes up in 10-point blocks. Now, so just have a look here. Figma doesn't have what we call space after formatting that we would have in programs like InDesign. We've got this thing called line height, which is here. I'll bring that up. Can you just see this? Just watch this. So I've got the second line of text selected. I'm clicking in the line height and I'm just using the down arrow. And that way I can set the space after with this. With this one, I shouldn't have to say this, don't use double returns or return to create spaces between things, okay? Use space before, use space after. When it gets down to it, and with typesetting, we can save space afters as sizing. We can save it as a style. And so we can actually save a style and apply it to raw text. If I'm doing a book or a publication, magazine, paste the text in, highlight it, bang, the heading text style, the subheading text style, the pull quote style. All those are done. We don't have to do it individually. If I go in and change a style in the style settings, every piece of text that is using that style will update. Okay, so long way of saying don't use double or triple returns. Okay, so come into your line height and get your spacing about right. I've changed the so you notice it's winter 40. The only reason I did that is that when I copied the text from this collection, it was actually using winter 40 as a promo code. Okay, so it's not the most important thing, but that's there. So get that about right. I'll just come in here. Let's just see what we've got. Okay, so you just want to make it look about right. Okay, as a designer, you've made the design decisions. So everyone else is going to follow your instruction because you're the one who's paid as a professional. Okay, select that, bring that down, that about right. Okay, so let's say that's about right. Oh, here's a little thing. In Figma, you'll note that I've got an alignment and I can align text to the bottom of a text frame, the center of a text frame, or the top. Okay, and so that can be pretty handy. So what I'll do, let's say that's all perfect. I'll now come in and I'll make this call to action button Handy hint, everyone. I'm going to make one call to action button and duplicate it. And duplicate it. And duplicate it. Okay, all I have to do is change the text. So just make one. Save yourself time. As I said, we'll need to make the search field, put the text in there. So with this, Figma does not have area type, which is great in Illustrator or InDesign, where we can have a background shape with a color and text sitting inside it, which we can center a line into the middle of it, which makes it good. We'll just have to work it this way. So I'll come in here. Okay, I'll build one. Okay, so just watch this. Give it a little rounded corner. Make it white. Give it some opacity. Okay. Then with this, I might just copy this piece of text. Just create another little text box. Paste it in. Take off that line height to 0. Maybe I will need it a little more. It's a bit annoying. Just bring it in there. And I'll just write shop men's. Come in here. Get it about right. I think 14 is about there. It up, make it a bit bigger. Handy thing with the text frame, I'm stretching it. I'm holding down the Option key. Notice it's stretching from the center outwards, left and right. So that's a handy thing in all programs. Okay. So let's say that's about right. Oops. And just line that in the center. The reason I'm doing that is now I can select both of those and center a line. Okay, let's say I'm happy with that. I'm going to group them. So object group, Command G, made one of them, Option drag. The reason I'm doing that is so that they move as a group. Here's my group, come into here. Women's. Okay, now watch this. This is a group. This is a group. I'll group those. And so now I select it with the text, center a line. Even better, I'll select it with this image, center a line. So now this text is aligned to the center of this image. Okay, little things like that we're doing. Okay. So once we've got one, I'll be able to reuse that for the other shop now. Now here, note this. This block of text is the same as this one, the formatting, which is the same as these ones. I'll make one, then I'll copy and paste the new text into the duplicate. Now, I will also ask you to be fussy with your attention to detail here. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of massaging with text. So I'll just come over to my text edit. There's my sneakers. I'll copy that. Come over here. Just move that out the way. Just paste it. Okay, so that'll be medium or regular. What do you reckon? Sort of a medium one, that one. All right, let's just do that. Maybe make sneakers a little larger. Now, this is where, again, you working quickly becomes very, very important with the way that you work with type. Okay. Once I've got one, that's fine. Now, hold my Option. I might use 3 lines on this. Okay, again, I'll move. Let's just delete those. Let's say I'm happy with that. Select it, align it, get that about right. Some of this text might go to a 4th line. So just be wary of this. In terms of the copywriting, it probably should have been the same word count, character count, but we need to work with things. Now, with this, things like hyphenation. Don't use hyphenation, okay? Don't want words broken in half. Watch out for your widows and your orphans, okay? Don't have one word sitting by itself on the last line, okay? That's an orphan. A widow is the last line of a sentence on the top line of a new column, okay? So just be wary of it. Again, this massaging we need to do. So I'll duplicate that. Just copy that. Let's paste it in. Copy this one. Looks like it needs a full stop. Paste that in. Okay, and so this is where we start to think about it. Okay, do I want it on 4 lines, or would it be better if it went to 3 there? Probably like that. Okay, so if we want to get really fussy, and we do tend to do that, I'm not sure if I want the word of a sentence being the last word of a line. Maybe I will bring it down like that. Okay, it's a bit better. We can do that. All right, so just be wary of these breaks. It's not them again. I did this novel just at the end of last year for this. I told you had all the misspelling deliberate, and I was getting really fussy with having the last word of a paragraph, last line of a paragraph going to a new page. So I was doing all this massaging and things, and I really probably didn't need to, but I sort of did. Anyway, no one noticed, but hopefully someone did. The effort that I went to. So I'll come in here. I've got these, same deal, Option drag. There's this one here. Come over here for dress. Don't write it, just copy. Easy to have spelling errors if you're working quickly. Okay. Even if it's a really basic word. You don't want your mistakes coming through. Whoop. That one, and we'll copy. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. I don't mind that. But right line. Let's make sure it's aligned. Good. This one, Option drag. And away we go so on and so on and so on. Okay. So you'll note that there's a few things going on here. There's an underscore. I don't remember if there's an underscore in this. I'm pretty sure there is. But we need an underscore because we know that if it's underlined, it's a link. It's a URL link. Okay, so just move things along. And then when you're getting to the icons, here we go. Okay, so just pay attention to this. Okay, they're over in my other folder. Okay, so come through. Let's just get that out of the way. What's the first one? Free delivery. I always drag it in. Just put things in place first. Don't. Then we've got express shipping. Afterpay. So that is there to use. Don't make your own Afterpay. It's a proprietary piece of design. So just use the one that's there. Same with the Facebook and the Instagram. They are there for you to use. Okay. Then create a block of text, duplicate it for the rest of them. Okay. And so you're just moving along. Okay. And so you'll get quite fast at all of this, but it's all just building it quickly. So where this is heading is next week, we will start building the other pages, and we'll start linking buttons to those pages. And so we'll talk about that and then how we bring it together. And so with all of that, I'll just come up here. You'll be able to check this. So just in terms of prototyping, so everyone just watch this for a minute. We've got the design, which we've been doing. I come up here to the top right, I've got prototype. I actually have a list of things I can prototype it in. Okay, so I'm just using the MacBook Air. So now, if I look at it, there we go. Okay, and that's what I'm going to share. That's what you'll share with me to have a look at. Okay, so we'll be looking at it on the phone, and these buttons will link to the other pages. Okay, and so just a nice little prototype that we've created. Okay.